Page 25 is our second solo, and it comes pretty quickly after our first solo. You can still continue to work on the first solo and then add the second solo after you think you have the first solo under your fingers a little more. If you already have it fairly well, the first solo, come and play this with me and start studying the second solo. The difference between the first solo and the second solo is that the first solo had the melody below the chords. In the second solo, the melody is above the accompaniment. So this takes concentration of playing the chords on the lower strings and now the melody on the top strings. And if you notice, in this solo, the melody are the notes with the stems going up, and the accompaniment are the chords and notes with the stems going down. So listen to second solo. 1, 2, 3, 4. As it says at the bottom of the page, hold all the notes for the full time value. Well, I'm always working on that, and I guess you will be too. This is sounds like a simple solo, but it is a solo that you have to concentrate on holding notes, planning out the chords, and also at times stopping notes from ringing. Let's talk about where to stop the notes from ringing. On the fourth line, third measure, is where we start the B section. It starts at G sharp, then there's a chord, then there's a rest for the chord and the note B. So it shouldn't be played this way. It really should be played that's one place. And the other places are where to hold all these chords, or two notes sometimes. In the third measure of the second line, you have a B and a G. Notice they're whole notes. They are difficult to hold throughout the measure, but try it. At least try and hear the B. Hear that? And then that chord, which is in that last measure of the second line and also the first measure of the whole piece. Try and hold that chord for 4 beats. Hold the C and the E down 4 beats. Many of these chords are chords that you have just learned. F minor, G7. There is a D7 in there, but you'll be learning that later. The last measure, C chord, then this is really an F chord with a G bass, but make sure that the fifth string is not ringing. Remember, we played this before. We're adding 2 more notes. Last 2 measures are, and you can retard. One other thing about this page, you notice at the time signature we have a C for common time, which there's a reminder, C common time is really 4/4 time. Again, 4 beats for each measure, and the quarter note gets 1 beat.